Hello, Ambika.
Hi, Magdi. I have a question about the meditation that we did just now. What is the idea? So we follow your words, we listen to your words, or how is it supposed to happen? Or we just be, or what is the basic idea behind it?
Yeah. When you go to a concert to listen to some beautiful music and you are experiencing the beauty, the love, the magic, experiencing that which is beyond words, there is a sufficiency to that. There's nothing that you need to add to that. I know how sometimes you go to the museum and there are guides that explain to you everything about the painting and the painter and what school of. There's so much details about the history of the painting and the art. But sometimes you just stand in front of a painting and nobody's saying anything. You don't know anything. And you are taken to this place of beauty and freedom and love and wonder. You're not seeking anything. You're not trying to do anything or grab onto anything or take anything with you home. That's that's not what it's about. To be touched by love, to be touched by beauty. It's not about accumulation or getting somewhere or getting something. Somehow you are connected to the field, to God, to you're connected to universal being, universal consciousness. And that's sufficient. It's it's healing. Simple recognition, a simple embrace, the embrace of God, the universal embrace. But when a child is in a crowd and is holding the hand of her mother, or lots of people around, but the child is safe and happy. But as soon as it loses its mother's hand, it feels this sense of being lost and fearful. Where is my mom? In that instant, there is fear, and the child runs around looking for mom's hand. And as soon as it reaches the hand of the mother, it's so happy, safe, and peaceful. As a separate person, which is the belief that I'm a separate person, there's always a concern and interest about what's next, getting something, getting somewhere. For whom? For me being this separate person I imagine myself to be. I want to gain more, I want to improve, I want to get better. Meaning this illusory me. There is no issue about wanting to take care of one's body, take care of one's family, take care of one's home, finances, etc., which belong to the body mind. But when I'm trying to get something for me, the question then that I ask myself, what is this me? Am I Ambika? There is Ambika, which is the name of the body, the name of the baby, that the parents love their baby and they love the name Ambika. And so I know there is Magdi, the body, Ambika, the body, the name of that body. And all sorts of things are happening to that body. The body is growing, the body is uh, feeding itself, taking, procreating. But the question is, what does this mean? The sense of self. The sense of self belongs to the self. It doesn't belong to the body. I, me is actually I. Me is actually I. Meaning universal being, not the body. Me doesn't mean a body. It refers to the self. There's only one self, one reality, one consciousness. I is this self. I is the self. I means awareness, the invisible presence, the reality which perceives right now, this perception, the invisible, formless, non-phenomenal reality. The reality is non-phenomenal. Everything phenomenal is changing. The body is growing, changing. The tree is getting taller. Society is constantly changing. The weather is constantly changing, inwardly, outwardly. But reality is that which does not change. That which is and cannot not be. And in our experience, the only candidate for this reality is I consciousness, the nominal aspect of our experience. You follow?
Yeah. So I do follow what you say about consciousness and the body and all of that, but about the idea of the meditation, you're saying I do not have to follow the words. Is that correct? So if
Yes.
I'm getting lost into
No.
whatever is happening,
You don't need to follow the words,
mm,
but at the same time, you don't need to follow your thoughts. Oh, what am I going to do tomorrow at 2:00? Or, no, because then you are interested in the thoughts, which is not a problem. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to follow the thoughts. I'm saying that in meditation, that's not what we are doing. In life, yes, in life, you need to think about, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow?
Right.
Etc.
But that's not what we want to do now. So
No.
yeah. So your words help us get back in case we get lost or
Yes.
go
Words.
and start following thoughts.
It's
the idea.
It's more where the words come from. They don't come from the body, mind, Magdi. I am not a manufacturer of great thoughts. I'm not. It's just like this body mind is like your body mind. It is very limited in its capacity. But like you, things appear to you, thoughts appear to you, perceptions appear to you. Similarly, here there are words that are spoken through the body mind, Magdi. They it's not so much the words, but it's the silent meaning, the what they point at is they're pointing at what is pointing at them.
Okay. So it's not the words, not the feeling, not the sensation.
Yes.
It's the meaning.
Yeah, it's like you go on a rowboat on the lake, and then you row the boat, and then at some point you put down the oars. I think they're called the oars. You put down the oars, and you are how do you say in English? Bercé. You are like in mother's arms, on the water. This gentle movement of the water, the little rowboat. You are
just floating.
Yeah, it's just being carried by the flow, being caressed, being loved and loving. I don't know words for that. No, we're trying to put words to something which the words they fail to speak it.
Right. So, but I should not imagine something like that. But that's what it's pointing to, right? Imagination is also not good.
No, not imagining. Like, no. There is nothing you need to do in the meditation.
Right. But that's what the mind tries to do, right? As soon as it's blank, it tries to catch a form, a shape. Whenever, even if we hear words, it's trying to bring something in front of you. Right? That's what the mind does.
The more you, the more you visit the museum, the less you are interested in the history and in the thoughts about the artists, the more you become in love with the art. So similarly in the meditation, in time, you're just in love with love itself. Not so much in interpretations or trying to understand something or trying to walk away with something and doing something.
Right. Right. But I can really see that the mind works like a Google search engine. When I hear a word, it throws up so many different ideas, things, feelings, whatnot, right? And I am not supposed to resist. I'm not supposed to follow the thoughts, right?
Well, you can notice the thought because you perceive the thought. You notice the thought, and rather than following the thought, you simply remain with the noticing.
Sorry, remain with what?
With the noticing.
Okay. Okay, with observing.
Not with the object that's you are noticing, but simply with noticing. You follow?
Yeah, yeah.
Because noticing doesn't necessarily need an object.
Right. Okay.
From the mind perspective, noticing needs an object. If there is no object, there is no noticing. As from the materialist objective, from the point of view of the phenomenal point of view.
Yeah.
But in fact, noticing is always on.
Right. Yeah, I cannot turn it off yet.
The object has a beginning and an ending. A thought or a perception appears, has a certain duration, and then disappears. It is the object which is in time. But noticing or being or awareness is not in time. It has not a beginning, a duration, and an ending.
Okay, I see that.
So how can you grab on to something which has no beginning, no duration, and no ending? You cannot even think about it because it has no beginning, no duration, and no ending.
It's just there.
Yes, it's the reality which right now perceives this perception. That which is and cannot not be. That which is and cannot not be is not named Ambika.
Right.
It's not a female form or a male form or was born 1980. No. That which is and cannot not be cannot be conceived of conceptually, but it cannot be denied, because what could deny that which is?
Right.
There's an absolute aspect to reality, to that which is and cannot not be. And it's not phenomenal, because the phenomenal aspect is perceived, whether it's conceptually perceived or perceptually perceived, it is perceived and has a beginning and an ending, a duration. It has a 3D aspect to it. The phenomenal aspect is in 3D, is the 3D realm. Well, 3D, 4D, 5D realm, but still in the dimensional realm, in the realm of dimensions. Right?
Right.
But the non-phenomenal, from the phenomenal perspective, the non-phenomenal does not exist. It's just a concept, it doesn't exist. But then you can ask yourself, what is it that perceive phenomena?
Exactly.
A phenomena cannot perceive another phenomena. A tree cannot perceive a tree. A thought cannot perceive a sensation. A sensation cannot perceive a perception. An object cannot perceive. So phenomena cannot perceive. Therefore, should we deny the reality of perception? Obviously not. How could we deny awareness or being? We cannot deny neither Sat nor Chit. What would deny being? What would deny awareness? So from the perspective of the phenomena, the noumena does not exist. But from the perspective of the noumena, the phenomena is simply the movement of the noumena, is a manifestation of the noumena, like waves are the movement of the ocean, or currents in the ocean. They belong to the ocean. They are the movement of the ocean, as a way of speaking, of course. You follow?
I could follow until the point that there is the non-phenomena, the awareness. I could see it, that I can't deny it. But I'm getting lost when we say phenomena is coming out of non-phenomena.
Right.
Where did we, how did we start that? Where did that come from?
Take a look at your night dreams, right?
Yeah.
In your night dreams, there are many forms, dream forms, that appear to you. You are the dreamer of those dreams. You are the reality of those dreams. These dreams are not separate from you, but they have no reality of their own, because when you wake up, you say, where is the pink flying elephant? I was dreaming, I was riding on a pink flying elephant. Where is the pink flying elephant, and where am I? I was sitting wearing this beautiful robe. So the phenomena arises out of the noumena. The dreams arise out of you. They're not separate from you.
Mm-hmm.
The dreams of the dreamer are not separate from the dreamer.
Okay.
Right?
So, right.
Right?
So, same way, people, objects, sensation, feeling, everything around me is just from me.
Absolutely. Because right now you're perceiving your perception. When you look at a tree,
Mm-hmm.
and the tree is out there. If the tree is out there, 10 yards away, you cannot see the tree because it is apart from you. The only way for you to perceive the tree is if there is a connection. Those two separate realities must connect. It's why we say you don't perceive the tree, you're perceiving your perception of the tree. Or
Correct.
perception.
From my
Right?
memory.
Huh?
From my memory, right?
Not from your memory, it's direct. Before you make an image, before you make an image, in the moment, right now you're perceiving this perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you're perceiving the
Yeah.
perception. It's not a memory, it's a direct perception, right? But the perception is not apart from you. In other words,
Right.
the perception is not apart from the perceiving aspect.
Right.
This is why we say phenomena, meaning perceptions, because they're not separate from the perceiving aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Their reality doesn't exist on their own. Their
Right.
reality belongs to the perceiving aspect because they cannot exist without the perceiving aspect. A tree, independent of perception or the perceiving aspect.
Does not exist.
So the tree is you, meaning the perceiving aspect, taking on the form of a tree as a way of speaking. In other words,
Beautiful.
the universe is your very body. The cosmos is your body.
So if I like somebody, for example, then it's just my perception. If I'm annoyed about something, it's again just my perception. I'm trying to get somewhere, it's another perception. Right. So
If you like somebody,
yeah.
when you like something, I would say there are two things to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
First, you can like something at the body-mind level. Like, for example, I have a sweet tooth.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to a really good pastry shop, they make really wonderful Italian cookies, and I have an Italian cookie, I am liking this Italian cookie.
I can see that on your face.
Unfortunately, there isn't a good Italian pastry shop here in Temecula, but I have to go all the way to Los Angeles. So there is liking something at the phenomenal level, at the body-mind level, which is fine. That's what it is. But there is also a different type of liking, which I would not call liking. I would say more like love.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we are with somebody, a friend, or in the store, and you say hello. You're walking in the aisle in the store, and you bump into somebody, and you say, "Oh, excuse me," and they look at you and they say, "Oh, not a problem." At that moment, we are experiencing a moment of love, non-dual, no Advaita, a moment of beauty and love. You can say, "Oh, I really like that," but it's deeper, a little deeper than liking. When you like somebody, it depends what you mean, how you mean it. You see?
What is the difference between the cookie? The cookie is just physical, you're saying?
Yes, there is a phenomenal aspect. Like, for example, I like people
It has
who
a
are
nama
quiet.
rupa.
Yes, Namarupa, name and form. Yes, in the Namarupa realm, there are tendencies. There are individual tendencies. Like I was saying, I like people who are more quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like people who talk too much about the news, about politics, about current events, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. So some people, they love more activity.
Mm-hmm.
So this belongs to the body mind. They might not feel comfortable with some people and feel more comfortable with other people. And
Mm-hmm.
and some people may feel comfortable with the people you don't feel comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel uncomfortable with the people you feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
There is a body mind aspect.
Okay.
Personality, let's say, personality habits. Like in the family, you may have 2, 3 children. They come from the same mom and dad, and they grow in the same family, but they
Mm-hmm.
are very different in their personality. So there are likes and dislikes that belong to the personality, right?
Right.
Now the difference is when there is love, it has nothing to do with personality. It has to do with our true nature. An act of compassion is gesture of vulnerability or of true humility. It touches our heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the mind says, oh, I like this person. Okay, the mind makes a narrative. It's okay. I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying when we are touched at the heart level, there is no mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mind may arise to organize the experience, to try to file it, label it. The Nama Rupa realm is a mind realm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But our reality is precedes Namarupa. It's Satchitananda. Now, when we say Satchitananda Namarupa, then there's a further understanding that even the Namarupa is included in the Satchitananda.
In the form of, that's what we say is perception.
Absolutely.
Right.
But Satchitananda does not mean duality.
Mm-hmm. So we're saying love is Satchitananda.
I'm sorry?
We are saying, are we saying love is Satchitananda?
Yes. Yes,
Right.
everything is.
And what we say is love is not attachment, is not likes and dislikes,
Yes.
is
But
not the feeling. Well,
love,
right.
love is
It's not.
universal, it's not personal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Satchitananda is universal.
Mm-hmm. And we know it when it happens, right? We cannot not know.
Absolutely. We all know love. We
Yeah.
know beauty, we know freedom, we know
Mm.
compassion. We don't
Mm.
need to have somebody explain it to us.
Correct. And we don't have to define it, can't we? Really define it. Huh?
The
It's knowing,
human,
not.
the human experience is Satchitananda on some occasions, on a few occasions. And the mind, 90% of the time, the me mind, ignorance.
Mm. Mm.
Ignorance is the assumption and the belief that consciousness is personal, that happiness is personal. And
Mhm.
seeking personal happiness is ignorance. Because in order to seek personal happiness, you have to start with the assumption that you are a person, that reality, that consciousness
Mm.
is personal and limited and it's mine. It's a personal experience. But we know if personal experiences, they appear and disappear, they don't last.
Mhm. Mhm.
And we know experientially happiness. For example, when we want our children to go to the university to study, and they get accepted at the university, we are happy. We're happy.
Mhm.
But we are not happy, in fact, because our children have been accepted to university. We are happy because at that moment, we are desireless.
Mhm.
The moment of the collapse of the personal desire.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we know happiness experientially,
Mhm.
which is desirelessness. But the mind confuses happiness by imposing a personal, phenomenal achievement. Oh, I have achieved my goal. Now I am happy. But then the next goal will arise. And the seeking arises again.
Mm. It goes on. Okay. Mhm. So when I say I love somebody, it's the glimpses of Satchitananda that I experience when I'm in contact with that person, but with the Nama Rupa, right? But that's the same thing that happens with a with another person as well, right? It's universe, it's everywhere, not just limited to that body mind. Hmm?
Yes. When you love somebody,
Mm.
when you love, there is no you and no other.
Mm.
The you and the other is love, which has no form and no objects, playing itself out on the screen of consciousness. Let me repeat that.
Mm-hmm.
In love, there is no me and no you. There are no objects in love.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, we love each other, is love, which has no objects, playing itself out in life, in mind, in the world, on the screen of consciousness. You follow?
Not sure I get that.
So
Because
first,
the
let me
mind
say,
tries to connect. Yeah.
let me say it a different way. Personal
Mm.
love is universal love. In fact, it is actually universal love
Mm.
playing itself out as personal love. That's
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's simpler to get.
Okay.
So when you love somebody, it is God. It's God
Mm-hmm.
love that's expressing itself through your body mind and through the body mind
Mm-hmm.
of your friend.
Okay. So it is Satchitananda that I experience, but I'm limiting it to a body mind at that point of time.
If you personalize love, you have
Then,
moved away from Satchitananda, you've moved into ignorance.
um,
But when
okay.
you recognize your personal love to be God's love,
Mm-hmm.
then you are in line with Satchitananda.
Yes. Okay.
Satchitananda Namarupa, because there is the form, there is your form and the form of your friend, of your partner. It's not to personalize, not to add in, introduce ignorance, to introduce me is separate personal consciousness, is ignorance, is the injection of the virus. You're injecting not the antivirus, but the virus.
Mm.
I want, I need, I must have. And if I don't have, I will not be happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He or she should be like this, like that. She should behave in a certain way, respond to me in a certain way, treat me in a certain way. And if he or she does not, I will not be happy. That is
Mm-hmm.
ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Unconditional, no attachment.
Absolutely. Love with conditions. I don't know if I
Mm.
get love,
No love, yeah. Mm.
I love you a lot, but don't cross this line and here and also that thing.
Mm-hmm. So contradictory. Wow, very beautiful.
I mean, even with our children, we do that. Oh my God. I mean,
Oh,
you say, oh, I love my children. Oh, you love your children. Yeah. And you come in and you say, oh, I want them to be like this. I want them to do that. I want them to... Of course, I would love for them to, have a good education. It's different from, I want them and I push,
Mm-hmm.
children respond to love. You don't need to explain to them. They know love.
Right. Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Magdi.
Okay, Advaita.